Hi everybody. So I want to share with you how to make this particular one of the Dangle Charms glue pin kits. And this one is the one we've created for Valentine's or for love, for whatever you choose. And I'm going to do a step-by-step video with you to show you how to actually do the assembly of this and what pieces you have in your kit. So this goes into the metal tips of your glue bottles. Ignore my bottle, it's really worn out, but this is the art glitter glue. Excuse me. So I'll share with you how we assemble this. So in your kit, you are going to have 4 of these little bead caps. They look like this. Let me just focus in and out here. There we go. So these are the little bead caps. So you've got 4 of those. You also have 3 small jump rings. You have 1 pearl bead. There's actually 2 in the kit, but you only need 1. One's a spare. If you want to make it a little bit longer, you can and add that on, but otherwise just use the 1. You have 2 of the stones that are like a clear, they're more like a glass stone bead. And then you have 2 beads that have like a little bit of gray in them. All right, you also have 1 of these big heart charms. You have a small pink and white plastic charm bead, and then you've got the wings heart locket. Okay, so those are those ones. You have 2 stainless steel pins, and we only use stainless steel. If you don't use stainless steel, and you put a regular pin in, it does make your glue go brown. Don't ask me how I know that. So these are eye pins. So you've got 2 super long ones. You've got 1 shorter one. And then you also have a piece of chain. All right. So the first thing you're going to do is we're going to build up on our long eye pin. The glue that I use, that I find the best actually, is Glossy Accents, because it doesn't show, it dries nice, and it really holds it well together. So the only thing I don't like is that when it's on your fingers, it makes your fingers feel kind of funny. So if you can work with gloves, more power to you. I can't. I just have to deal with the way I don't like it feeling afterwards. So I do like to run a little bit of the glue or the Glossy Accents. You can use like an E6000, I believe it's called, but you know what? I have this. This is what I use all the time, and so it's not a problem. So I've just run a bead of glue on there, and I take 1 bead cap and I'm putting that on there. And I just, you don't need to push it down. It'll push down when we put the beads on. And then I am taking 1 of these clear beads, and that's going on next. And then I'm putting on the little pink heart. Now remember, this is the top, so don't put it on this way. It's got to go on this way. All right, so it looks like you're putting it on upside down, but you're not. And then when you get your Glossy Accents on your beads, they stick together really well, including the ones you don't want to stick together. And then I've put the next glass bead on, and then I just put another little dab of the glue there, and I add my last bead cap on. Now, this piece, you really want to have it dry really well. So what I do is I take a bulldog clip and I push it down on there. So it's going to hold it tight to this end, and then I put it aside to dry. I do the same thing with the smaller section. I'm just going to take this off so you can see. So for this section, is I do the same thing. This can use a little bit more glue. It doesn't hurt that it's loose on this one because it's held together at each end. They're not going to come off. It's more important that you have this glued well, because you'll find over time that this will pop off if you don't have it glued well. which isn't an issue. You've got also the extra stainless steel pin because these do bend, they get out of shape. So what you can do then is pull these beads off, just change it up here and put a new stainless steel pin on. So you always have these. They won't, just because your stainless steel pin gets bent and it doesn't go in the bottle very well, doesn't mean you have to pitch it out. So we're going to do the small one as well, so that will have time to dry. And for that, we're doing the same process, but we're going to use this itty bitty tiny, I'll hold it this way so you can see it, eye pin. And I've got some glue on my mat here, so I think I'm just going to use that up first. Dip that in there. Waste not, want not, right? Except now I can't pick it up. And that is getting a little hard, so don't be so stingy, Heather. There we go. And again, bead cap first. Whoops. Slide that on there. And now we're using the other beads with the pearl. So these are the beads that you have that have the, there we go, that have the little gray lines through it, sort of a marbled look. And then I'm going to use my pearl, my white pearl. And then I'm putting the other bead on there. And then a bead cap. So again, I like to just put another little dab of glue on there. I'm going to try and hold this sideways so you can really see it. And I'm going to take that extra bead cap and put it on the end there. Now you see you don't have a lot of room on the end of this, which is fine because all we want to do is we're going to make that into a circle. So there's no sense in having a bigger piece that you've got to cut to put together. So get my tweezers off of there, and I'm just going to squeeze that, and I'm going to put that aside to dry. So I did prepare a set ahead of time to let it sit and dry, just so that we can move on. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start to build down this way. These really don't take very much time at all to do. So the first thing I want to do is I want to slide one of the small jump rings onto my piece of chain, and then I'm going to slide it onto the top of my long pin. Okay, so these little guys are not easy to grab, and I have to kind of go, I have bifocals, but I have to go above my glasses, below my glasses. Kind of makes you dizzy after a while. Okay, so don't open it too wide, but open it enough that you can get your chain onto there. And the reason we're using the small is because really that's all that's going to fit on there, because of the size of the chain. Okay, I'm going to leave that bulldog clip on there for now. And I'm going to attach, whoops, again, looking over your glasses, Heather, to open it just a little bit more. There we go. And sliding that on. And then you do need 2 pairs of pliers to work this stuff. You don't want to squeeze it too hard, but you want to be sure that they are together so that it doesn't come off of there. All right. So this is the part now that's going to dangle off of my pin. Now I kind of like a little bit more doodads on mine. So what I have done is I've added and see, this is why you want to be sure that you really tighten up those jump rings. Otherwise they do come off. So the first thing I want to do then is let's finish up this bottom section. So because this heart is so big, we are actually going to use the large jump ring. So grab your large jump ring, find where it is open that up a bit, put your big heart I know we all have a big heart, right? And I'm going to attach this to the bottom, because it doesn't really matter. You know what? Before I do that, what I'm going to do, this section here, whoops, which is, I didn't really want that to happen, but that's okay. As I said, this is not going to come apart on us because it's going to be, you know, really have something attached at each end. So you want to take this little piece that's left over here and you want to give it a good twist to make it like a ring so that we can put the heart through that piece. Turn these around. I'll show you as soon as I get that completed. There we go. So I've created just a little tiny ring on the bottom of there. See that? Just by bending the wire. Now I can take my heart, my big heart, and I'm going to put that down first. Turn that. I actually, you know, I'm not one for finicky things, but I do love doing these. I don't know why, because they are finicky, but I just love, they're so pretty, and I love the way they come together. Now, if you wanted, you could add a little dab of glue there, just to be sure it doesn't come off. But if you squeeze it together properly, it's not going to come apart on you. So now I've got this on the end, and I've got another ring at the top here. So this top ring, we want to attach about, you know, you don't want it hanging down too far, but I kind of want it here, and then I've got my other section that's going to hang a little bit lower. So I want to take, again, another small O-ring, find the opening, open that up. I'm going to put this one through it, the long piece with the big heart. And I want to go, I've got extra chain on here, so let's, just thinking for a second how I did this other one. Did it up, you know, go up a little bit, like leave a couple of inches there. Totally up to you. I mean, just wherever you want to go on your length of chain, but I wanted to leave a little bit extra. Not the same length that I'm using. Maybe leave about an inch hanging down. Now, if your chain is too long, you can trim some off. I mean, you don't want it dragging on the table when it's on your bottle. Okay, I'm in the chain now, finally. And so I'm going to close that end up, squeeze them together. So that they hold. Okay, so I've got this little piece of chain hanging down here. As I said, it's about an inch in length. And that's where I'm going to attach my little, my extra little heart. So using your last O-ring, jump ring. Some people call them jump rings, some people call them O-rings. I am going to open that one up. One more time. Oops. I'm going to attach this little heart. Oops, that is my heart because it's got the O-ring on it for mine. I'm going to attach it on there, and then I'm going to dangle it off of the end of this chain. I might leave like 3 or 4 links hanging. When you have stuff hanging, that's what makes it dangly, and that's what makes it rattle about. Our Christmas ones had the bells on them, the jingle bells, so they had lots of nice sound to them. The cats love them. And again, I'm squeezing that so it's not going to open. Believe it or not, that's the whole thing. There we are. So you can see I've got one heart hanging down. See that? It's not hanging down as low as my big heart. It gives me that little dangly. And then this is my main part for my bottle, which I just slide in, keeps my glue clear, and I don't take this off. I leave it on. This way, when I have it off and I'm using my glue, I can find my pin. No problem at all. And I love this one. It's so pretty. So I hope that was nice and clear for you. Really easy to do. I'm already working on our next ones, which will be for St. Patty's Day. And then we will be working on the spring Easter ones after that. So we're going to be doing these on a regular basis. Those are your pins, all set to go. Have a good day, everybody.